Well, I hope Bob Iger brought a calculator, because it's audit season. Hello, I'm Marvin, and I'm the Movie Monster. Today we got ourselves a courtroom shakeup that could leave Disney legally vulnerable and exposed by the one thing Bob Iger and his woke cronies fear more than anything. An actual strong woman.
Rising to the top, push it to the edge, give it all you got, barely break a sweat, strong woman, strong.
Gina Carano has officially won a motion to compel in her lawsuit against Disney, and now they have 20 days to hand over internal pay records, real numbers, for the Mandalorian, Ahsoka, the Acolyte, Andor, and more. That means Disney has to show what Pedro Pascal, Rosario Dawson, Diego Luna, Carl Weathers, Amandla Sameface, and others were paid, not just for TV shows, but even for the upcoming Mandalorian and Grogu film. Now, why is this? Because Gina's team is trying to prove just how much she lost when they booted her off the show back in 2021 over a social media post, and how much people like Pedro continued to make after he made a very similar post and nothing happened.
Weird.
And let's be real, this isn't about spreadsheets, it's about accountability. This case is the potential to change the face of Hollywood cancel culture forever. Whatever shriveled up prune is left of Hollywood's soul is on the line. And it's sweet irony that this is a law that was initially designed to protect communists, and it's now being used in defense of someone who is so wildly in the opposite direction of that.
Well, how about that?
Oh, and here's the kicker. The judge tossed Disney's request for sanctions against Gina's lawyers. They came in swinging it, and the court said, sit down, deliver the docs, and stop stalling.
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
So what's next for this case? What happens if Disney tries to delay again? And could this finally blow the lid off the way Disney handles ideological blacklisting behind the scenes? Find out today on Tooneytown TV. All right, guys, here it is. Gina Carano wins big against Disney in lawsuit discovery battle. Judge orders Disney to hand over actor pay records within 20 days. My gosh, guys, this is big. Like, this is a big, big win for Gina. It's a big, big loss for Disney. And it shows that the legal system might not be protecting Disney for once. Of course, this article comes to you from thatparkplace.com, the website where if you're not bookmarked to it, well, you should be, if I can borrow a, regular saying from my friend WDW Pro, because the editor-in-chief over there is the coolest monster and most knowledgeable monster about pop culture that you know, Marvin the Movie Monster, right here of Tooneytown TV. So go over and check it out every single day to see what I'm up to over there and what I'm reporting on, and then come over here to hear my opinions on it.
I don't care.
In a major legal victory for Gina Carano in her lawsuit against Disney, the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California has granted a motion to compel Disney to turn over key documents related to how other Star Wars actors were compensated. Now, this includes big names like Pedro Pascal, Rosario Dawson, the cast of The Mandalorian, and Grogu. The order then comes through 8 months after what Carano described as deflection and stalling in her wrongful termination lawsuit. The court order was issued in case number 224CV01009, and it forces Disney to comply within 20 days, handing over verified spreadsheets showing how actors were paid across The Mandalorian and related Disney Plus shows and the upcoming film. The ruling partially grants Carano's motion to compel, marking a pivotal moment in the ongoing battle between the Cara Dune actress and one of Hollywood's largest media corporations. Now, you see, this comes directly from Gina's lawyer, and he says, discovery motion granted in Gina Carano's case against Disney. The court is forcing Disney to turn over this information. This is big. This is going to be huge. And then you see it right there, the actual order from the judge. All right, so what is a motion to compel and what the heck just happened? That's probably what you might be asking if you are lucky enough to have never been sued before in your life or don't know anything about the legal system. A motion to compel is basically a legal way of saying, hey, they're not giving us what they're supposed to. Judge, please make them.
I am assuming direct control.
Carano's legal team filed this motion on April 2nd after 8 months of what they claim was stonewalling by Disney during the discovery process. And then, of course, immediately the judge turned around and granted it. I mean, this was granted on April 3rd, and we're just hearing about it now. In plain terms, her lawyers needed access to Disney's internal data so a damages expert can calculate what Carano likely would have earned had she not been fired in 2021. Now, the court agreed, finding that Carano's request for pay data across Star Wars actors was reasonable, relevant, and necessary to establish lost income. According to the court document, a whole lot of legal mumbo-jumbo. But we are going to break it down for you. What did Gina win and what's next? So while the court didn't grant everything she asked for, it gave its legal team the green light on several key points. Number one, Disney must produce actor compensation records within 20 days of the order. The documents must include verified spreadsheets, not vague summaries or cherry-picked numbers. The scope includes The Mandalorian, other Disney Plus Star Wars series, and the upcoming Mando and Grogu film. And if more records are needed, Carano's lawyers can ask for additional evidence after reviewing what Disney hands over.
Money, please.
So it's not just a minor win. It opens the door to even more discovery if the expert believes that the first batch isn't enough. So what was granted here? Required documents, actor compensation summaries. Disney has to provide verified spreadsheets or summaries showing how much these actors were paid. Pedro Pascal, Rosario Dawson, and Carl Weathers across The Mandalorian seasons 1 through 3. Rosario Dawson in the Book of Boba Fett and Ahsoka seasons 1 and 2. Amanda Stenberg, aka Amanda Sameface, in The Acolyte. And Diego Luna in Andor seasons 1 and 2. She also gets access to Carl Weathers' contracts. Disney has to turn over all of Carl Weathers' actual contracts for The Mandalorian seasons 1 to 3, with redactions that limited to personal or rep info. All right, now what the court denied Gina Carano for now. The judge denied Carano's request for other actor contracts besides Carl Weathers and the budgets and profits from Star Wars shows and film. I would love to see that, my God, especially The Acolyte. However, the door is not fully closed. The court said Carano's team can renew those requests after they disclose their expert witness, but only if that expert lays out exactly how those figures tie into the damages model and proves that no other available data could serve as a substitute. So this was a strategic denial, not a shutdown. Here are some other keynotes. The 20-day timeline is strict, but the parties can agree to modify it if it doesn't violate the trial schedule, which got pushed back, by the way. The trial got pushed back from this September into, I think, February 2026. The info can be given on an attorney's eyes-only basis, but Gina's expert is allowed to use it to build her case. Disney tried to get sanctions or penalties against Carano's lawyers, but the court flat out denied the request. The April 23rd hearing was canceled because the judge resolved the issue in writing. So there you go. Now, what if Disney doesn't comply with Gina Carano? What if Bob Iger was like, I'm Bob Iger. I'm not going to do this.
Because I am Flint Hardcore Gold, and I always will be!
If Disney misses that 20-day deadline or tries to drag its feet again, there are serious consequences. So the court can issue sanctions against Disney, which includes fines or forcing Disney to pay Carano's legal fees for wasting time. The judge could also strip Disney's right to object to future evidence disclosures, meaning that Carano's team could gain access to even more internal data with less resistance. Now, in the worst case scenario, Disney could be found in contempt of court. That's the legal equivalent of poking the bear, and it would reflect terribly in public and in the courtroom. So there he is, Bob Iger, looking like he just sat on his nuts. More importantly, failing to comply would paint Disney as obstructive and possibly guilty of hiding something. It would bolster Carano's claim that her firing wasn't just unfair, it was targeted and discriminatory. Now, of course, the legal breakthrough comes just days after Carano blasted Disney on X for continuously disrespecting her long after her firing. Now, this includes a recent ESPN Women's History Month tribute that completely scrubbed her from the legacy of women's mixed martial arts, despite the fact that she had a central role in establishing the sport.
You can't keep getting away with it!
Dana White of the UFC even said the fact that Gina Carano is not on this list is insane. So Gina said in an earlier post, Disney's discrimination is plain as day. Maybe that is why they're delaying providing the proof sitting right in their files. Carano has also accused Disney of holding a double standard when it comes to political or ideological statements made by actors, pointing out that others in the company's orbit have made far more controversial comments without facing termination. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. I don't care if you agree with what Gina Carano said or not. I don't care if you agree with her post or not. That's not the purpose of this. The purpose of this is fairness and legality. So if you believe that what she said was fireable, which was sharing a meme that was basically comparing the plight of conservatives in America to that of oppressed chosen people in Europe in the 1940s. We'll put it that way, because YouTube does not like words associated with that particular party, if you know what I'm talking about. And the Austrian painter that was its ruler, the greatest evil the world has ever known. Now, listen, whenever I hear someone make this comparison, I'm out. I check out completely. I'm like, guys, this was the greatest evil the world has ever known. Can we stop comparing everything to it? All right. So right away, I'm telling you flat out, I don't agree with what she posted. But I also don't agree with the fact that Pedro Pascal posted something very, very similar, comparing half the country to that very same party that YouTube doesn't like us to mention. And nothing happened to him, guys. Nothing. Rachel Zegler made politically charged, divisive statements while promoting this film. I'm sorry, not this film, for Snow White. I'm just so used to talking about Snow White all the time that I just immediately always think we're talking about Snow White. She made politically that actually endangered a co-star, and nothing happened, guys. Nothing.
Son of a bitch!
Mark Ruffalo, Mark Hamill, they have both made incendiary statements about politics, and nothing has happened to them. Much worse than Gina Carano sharing a meme, however misguided it might have been. So really, it boils down to one person was fired, and a wealth of other people were kept on and probably given cushy raises. Now, Gina also had a series coming up, her own series, a Cara Dune series called Rangers of the Rangers of the New Republic. It was going to be a Cara Dune-led series taking place in the Star Wars universe, a spin-off of The Mandalorian, and that was effectively scrubbed when Kathleen Kennedy sent her to the Phantom Zone. So if Gina can prove that there was discriminatory practices here, that Disney treats certain people in a different way based on the exact same thing, that being incendiary political statements, then they can then use that monetary information that they're gathering now through discovery as a means of determining, okay, you discriminated against this woman, and here's all the money that she lost because of it. Now that's what you got to pay her.
Money, please. Money, please.
So there you go, guys. Gina Carano, big win. Disney has tried to stonewall and do the usual nonsense. Disney likes to stonewall when they're being sued. That way, the person that's suing them will eventually just drown in legal fees and red tape and paper.
Shields up.
But Gina Carano is being supported by Elon Musk, and there's a good chance that Elon has forgotten that he's even paying for this because it's such a drop in the hat of the amount of money that man has. So, yeah, it's absolutely, not going to go down the way Disney usually does it, because Gina is backed by some big, big backers. And we're going to see where it goes, guys. And we're going to be covering the crud out of this, guys. Anytime there's an update on this, we're going to be running with it here. We're going to be running with it on Tooney Talk TV. So you keep it here. Stay tuned to Tooney Talk TV and Tooney Town TV for even more on the Gina Carano situation. So what do you guys think? Do you think that Disney did Carano wrong? Do you think that she's reaching here? Do you think that there's a difference between what she said and what others have said? If you have a different opinion than mine, don't be afraid to share it. I welcome the discourse as long as it's polite and respectful.
Unsubstantiated fantasy! Lies! Lies! Lies!
So what do you guys think about this? Sound off in the comment section below and let me know. So here's what all this means. For 3 years, Gina Carano has been dragged through the mud, erased from Star Wars history, and treated like a pariah by the company that built an empire on family values. But now, a federal judge is putting Disney's actions under a microscope. Now, make no mistake about this. This isn't just a document handoff. It's the first crack in the armor. A legal ruling that says, yes, you fired her. Yes, it cost her. And yes, we're gonna find out how much.
Is this some kind of game? Answer me, baby!
And if those pay records show what many of us already suspect, that Gina was being treated differently, it could reshape the whole narrative around her firing. This isn't just a case about money. It's about a major corporation finally being forced to explain itself in court under oath with receipts.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what.
And for everyone out there who's been canceled, erased, or pushed out for thinking differently, this might be the spark that they've been waiting for. Thanks for joining us today, and a special thanks goes out to our Tooneytown TV channel members. You guys are the heart and soul of this channel, and for that, we thank you with exclusive content like Crime and Punishment, our true crime podcast hosted by myself and Trish, and our members-only live stream on Mondays at 3 p.m. EST. So if you are not a member of the Tooneytown TV channel, join today. Oh, and make sure you're joining us Thursday nights live at 8 p.m. EST for Tooney Talk TV, our live stream pop culture podcast where you can interact with me directly and make your voices heard as a part of the Tooneytown community. If you liked what you saw here today, please like, share, and subscribe. Click that bell icon to get notified of new videos as they drop. From all of us here at the Tooneytown channels, I'm Marvin the Movie Monster. Now get out of here!